It has a small
airport?
airport.
Is there an airport there?
No, one runway. That's the last island in the Philippines. Then after that, you see Borneo actually.
Oh,
I've flown there.
I haven't flown there now.
Yeah, but I'm sure you have flown in Samar in Giwan.
Yes, of course. I've been to Guyana. I've been places. I've been to almost Siargao, Surigao. Yesterday I had a flight on my multi-engine to one of these international airports by the name of Davao, and that was altogether a very good experience because we were flying airways. We were getting to fly actual, like what an airline does. So that is a great exposure. You're learning things in advance of what you might learn when you reach the airline.
That's right.
So that's a very good exposure.
So it's really a good business, Jamara, from standpoint that, as they were saying, that the exposure of being in Mactan is a plus factor.
It's a plus factor for them. But for us, it's not just about the profitability because, my father, had his training this way too. So it's also a way of giving back to all the pilots, to the pilot students.
I understand that
really
Captain Jessup had a crash landing with Lito Osmeña somewhere in the north. Was that true? Tell us a story because I did not like the story that was played out in the media.
No, I don't think it would be categorized as that.
It was not a crash landing.
It wasn't really.
But they landed in the beach.
It was very smooth landing.
Yeah.
Yes.
But because how sometimes media blow things up. How about you? Have you gone into emergency situations?
Well, thankfully not in an actual emergency so far. But yes, we simulate. I mean, that's a part of our training. We simulate emergency situations.
Yeah.
Because we are flying for a long number of hours over the seas where we don't have an airport nearby. So we kind of simulate those situations where we can end up, because after all, it's a machine.
That's right.
It's a machine. It's made by man. It's handled by men. And there is always a chance. But then we are given the training to come out of such situations.
Yes. Part of their training is to go through
emergencies.
They have emergency procedures to go
But Sudwata, flying is like a vocation. You must love it. When was it in your life that you said, I like to fly? When was it?
That's when I first saw an airplane, when I was 6 years old.
6 years old.
Yeah.
You flew a small plane?
No, flew a plane. That's when I first saw a plane and alive at the airport. And then I flew in a plane at when I was a 10-year-old. And then from then I was always excited about being a pilot. And further, when I completed my graduation, I took this as a serious career and came down here to join.
Very good. So, if you didn't know this, one of the first Guinness Book of Records youngest pilot is a good friend of mine, Clark Pilais. He was in the Guinness Book of Records. I think he was 9 years old or 8 years old. His father flew his, I think, a tri-pacer or something.
Yes.
When he barely could reach the controls to the plane. How about your children? If you have a family and someday you let them fly?
It's still their motivation and their interest, right?
Yeah. But is there a minimum age, Jamar, for being a pilot?
16, I believe.
16?
Here in the Philippines.
But you don't have to be a college graduate?
No, you don't have to be. Yes.
But what did you finish, Ahmad? What did you finish in school?
I did my bachelor's in commerce, and I always had this interest of getting into aviation, since in my family we have 2 pilots, my brothers. So I always wanted to get into aviation, and but after the completion of my graduation and then going for the ground school, I got an idea about the subject, because it's like you need to put in your effort in order to understand what kind of a profession you are choosing. After clearing my exams, I had made up my mind that this is where I am and this is where I'm supposed to be, and I ended up being here. And still, it's a learning process.
So
learning here,
your 2 other brothers are flying for what airline?
The eldest is flying with Air India. He's on Airbus 310s, the wide-body aircraft, and the one younger to him is flying on Airbus 320s, the new which is, I beg your pardon, it's 737-800 and a 900, which is a new generation aircraft with Jet Airways.
AARs.
Yes.
Well, it's good to know that Aviatour is giving a new generation of pilots, not only for the Philippines, but also for places like India. And it's really a very interesting show that we have tonight, and we'll be back with our guest after this break.